we're going to be starting off with Renegade's Vitality. I was totally wrong. You know, somebody asked yesterday if I could stream Vitality scrims. I said they probably wouldn't want to, but it turns out that they don't mind. So here we are. I did see that they were streaming their own scrims yesterday, though. Very Peak was streaming them. So I thought I'd drop them out a message. And yeah, they kindly agreed to let us stream their scrims against Renegades here. So let's see what's happening. Okay, I think I got the face cam on. Maybe make sure it's in the right place. I think it is. My headphones aren't in the right place though. There we are. I'm a one ear headphone kind of guy. Somebody's asking the other day, why do you only have your headphone on one ear? The reason is because my talk back into my own ear currently isn't working, so that's the only way I can hear myself. Is this the only scrim today? I should hopefully be able to get maybe one or two more after this one, but definitely not 5, not as many as we got in the first day. First day of scrims, everybody was just going crazy. I think they were all really excited to scrim each other. Okay, Vitality, you're not messing around. They're trying to... What is up with the sound? Does that always happen? Does that sound always go like weird every time that goal explosion happens, or is that just me? Did you guys hear that? That did not sound good. It always goes like this. Is that intentional or is it a bug? Do you guys know if it's a bug? I really hope that's a bug. It sounds super weird. Universe ending, audio issues. Oh. Yeah, Renegades are scrimming like crazy. They're doing a lot of scrims. Here, who is that? Is that CJ in their own decal? They got roasted so hard for their decal, and I don't know why. Like they were one of the only teams who went for a unique color in their decal. They went for the deep red, the maroon. So you've got to give them props for that. So many teams just went for the safe colors, the black and white combinations. It looks like somebody was trying to backpass here off the sidewall, and they just weren't on the same page. Yeah, CJ's trying to backpass to, or rather, Kami's trying to backpass to CJ, but CJ's getting bumped. Might not look like a back pass because it's going off the sidewall, but it is technically a back pass. You're trying to center it for your goalkeeper to run onto. Dangerous move if you've only got one man back. Look at CJ. He's trying to get the comeback going. Linder, thanks to the 47-month tier 1. Welcome back to the channel. Oh well, no facecam Sag. It's on now. I fixed it. I thought it was on when I went live, but it was just a black box. I had to restart that. How many black t-shirts do I own? I own a lot of black t-shirts. If I had it my way, I would probably just wear the same t-shirt every day. Well, not literally the same one, but you know what I mean, the same style of t-shirt. Not the exact same t-shirt. But I only have one style of socks. I wear the same socks every day. Don't even need to pair them. Usually. Well, I don't need to like find the matching sock because they all match. They're all literally the same sock. I just got like 15 of them or something. 15 pairs. But I had to buy, because I don't know how cold it's going to be in Sweden. I bought some thermal socks as well for Sweden because yeah, it might be freezing. We're gonna maybe need to be out like on a balcony or something if we want to hang out together. I'm not sure what the rules are gonna be. I'm cool with it either way. If the rules are stay in your hotel room quarantining, that's what I'll do. But if we're allowed to go to like an outside area and social distance to kind of chat with people we haven't seen in years in the Rocket League community, then yeah, we might have to go outside. So I got some thermal socks. That's like the first time in ages that I've had more than one type of sock. And I also had to buy like dress socks for suits, because when we're doing casting online, you can wear a you can wear a suit and a shirt, and then just not have smart trousers on, or just be wearing like slippers or something. So every time that I've been dressed smart for the online broadcast, I've never had smart trousers on. I've never had smart socks, smart shoes, nothing. I'm sure everybody else is the same. Why would you? Nobody can see it. So yeah, that's the first. It's only -4 in Stockholm today. That's not too bad, really. I mean, I saw the extended forecast I think a week ago, and it said one night was going to be -15, which is fine. I've been in -15 quite a few times before. Not a big deal. The only thing is you gotta have warm shoes, warm socks and shoes, and a big jacket, and you're good pretty much, in my experience. Although if you're standing around or sitting around, you do get colder than if you're walking in the cold. Like if you're just going outside to go somewhere and you're moving, you can actually, you know, cope with a lot colder temperature. But the humidity is really high in Sweden, if I'm not mistaken. So it's not going to be a dry cold. It's going to be a very, very cold, wet cold if it does get cold. So if we're sitting around, we do need to actually be wearing warm clothes or standing around. Anyway, that was a bit of a tangent. Ooh, nice shot by Alpha there. Bit of a tangent, but yeah. The whole point is, somebody asking, do I have a lot of black t-shirts? Yes. I don't really think about what I'm going to wear. I don't plan outfits very often. I just get up and I grab grab clothes from my clothes drawer. Like, I have it all in a pile. I'm like, there we go. That's an outfit. Let's go. So, you know, black tends to go with everything. So if you don't want to think about stuff, just wear like black t-shirts. You probably, it goes with everything because it's black. You know, it just doesn't. You don't even need to think about it. But yeah, like I said, if I had it my way, I'd probably just have like maybe, I don't know, 12 of the same t-shirt and just wear them. Take turns wearing them. But my girlfriend would probably complain if I did that. So I do have some other variety besides black t-shirts, such as dark navy t-shirts. You may have seen me in almost black but not black, dark navy, in fact, t-shirts. I also have such fashion items like very dark green, you know, another non-black color. And you might even, if you're very lucky, see me wearing dark gray. So I do actually change it up day to day. So yeah, but who could be bothered with white t-shirts, really? You know, you have to like do a white wash. Who has time for that? Who has time to do a white wash? Like I actually do have some white t-shirts, but they just kind of like never get used because I know if I use it, I have to do a wash just for that. So I'm like, why would I do that? It's not worth it. It's just simply not worth the time. Right, Vitality, destroy renegades in the first game here. Wash them with your towels, but all my towels are like dark colors as well. I've got mostly navy towels, I think, right now. Not black towels, but like navy towels. If you get white towels and you just get fluff in your hair, why would you have white towels? You just get the white, like, you know, bits start showing up in your hair. It looks like dandruff. It's a terrible idea. Is the post-game sound here also strange? Also, I didn't ready up. I'm so sorry. Oh, it's embarrassing. I'm such an idiot. I've wasted so much time there. I mean, you might not think it was a lot of time because it was only 40 seconds, but think about how many people are in here. 7 times 40 seconds? That's like 6 minutes and 40 seconds. No, it's not. 3 minutes. No. Was I right? No, it's 4 minutes and 40 seconds. I tried to do it like instantly, just tried to guess the correct time, and I got it wrong. 7 people times 40 seconds. That's 4 minutes 40 seconds, I think. EU maths. Listen, my mental maths is actually pretty good. You know, whenever there's like a big group or, you know, a group of friends like out for dinner and you have to split the bill, but you don't want to just split it evenly because not everybody got the same food. And nobody wants to be first to calculate what they've got because it's just like too complicated. So I'm always like, give it to me. I'll do it in my head. Just to, you know, keep the brain working. It's a good little exercise. I'm pretty sure it does absolutely nothing for you, but I used to love maths. Was my by far my favorite subject compared to language. I hated English class at school. It was the worst. Totally the worst. English, you know when you get like these essay questions? That's a nice position by Kate up there. You know when you get those essay questions, you read like a poem or you read a book or a segment of a book, and then it says like, okay, based on the sentence structure, what is the writer trying to tell us about? And then, you know, certain character, and then you see it's a 4 point, like you get 4 marks, 4 points maximum for the question. So you're thinking, right, I need 4 things here. Not entirely sure what this is steering me towards, but you know, I'll probably get 1 or 2 of them right just by complete luck. So here we go. Bam, bam. You just start rattling off things that you think the sentence structure could be meaning. Nice save by CJ there. And then it would always just come back 0 out of 4. And I'm like, how have I got none? You know? What are we supposed to be looking out for here? Like, usually you just make up stuff and you get 2 points or, you know, 1 point at least as a minimum, just because you wrote down enough words. English class, English like essay, analysis, writing, I would just get the teacher would be like 0 out of 4. I'm like, what do you mean 0 out of 4? How have I got 0? You know? There's lots of full stops, so the character is, you know, I don't know. Just make stuff up. I didn't get it at all. It was such nonsense. I fluked the exam and I passed it. You know, I don't know how they do it these days, but when I was in school, the exam format for what we had was higher. I don't know what it's even called now, A levels or something. Higher English when I was in 5th year at school, so I would have been 16 or 17 I would have been. The exam format was, they recommended that we would prepare 4 different poems and 8 books. Like, you had to go and like read thoroughly 8 different books and 4 different poems. That was the recommended number, because then you had to choose an essay question that matched one of your books and one of your poems, and you would do 2 essays in 2 hours just to answer 2 essay questions. And I was just like, I can't be bothered reading 8 books and like reading thoroughly 8 books and 4 poems. So I just read 1 of each, and then I hoped that I would have an essay question that matched, you know, what I'd read. And I got lucky. We got them. So we went really lazy for higher English. We just hoped that the 1 book and the 1 poem that we read had questions that were appropriate, and there were questions. I was like, right, we can work with this. So yeah, I just couldn't be bothered. I was like, this is stupid. I feel like that was all of high school for me, though. I was like, this is a waste of time. I cannot be bothered with this. Let's just do the absolute bare minimum work and try and get the pass. But we got it. We got the pass. We got a B. We'll take it. We'll take a B. Yeah, actually, Jazzo, I think it is RNG, but yeah, we just wrote Ren, didn't we? So I guess that's just what we're gonna go with. Savage Sunny, thanks for the 25-month Prime, and also Gramps for free. Thanks for the brand new Prime. Carby_Y, thanks for the 36-month Tier 1. And Heavy Milk for the 2-month Prime, welcome back. Tweety as well with the 12-month Prime, welcome back to you. Appreciate all the subs, guys. Oh, does it actually say 0-0? Okay, I might as well change. I should definitely change that one, you know. Changing Ren to RNG was not a top priority, but I should definitely put 1 on the board. You guys are right. Looks like Vital, you're going to be taking this one as well. Unless Renegades can do something about it. Do something late in this one. Work smarter, not harder. Well, you do want to work hard as well, but it's about, in my experience in life, it's about finding something that you're actually passionate about working on. Because the one thing in high school I really did a lot of work on was my we all had to make a program in advanced higher computing. We had to write a program in Visual Basic, which is a really terrible coding language that pretty much only exists to teach people how to code or help people learn how to code. So I for my project, I don't know why, like, we really didn't need to do anything this complicated. I would have been able to pass with a far easier task. But what I did for my Visual Basic Advanced Higher Computing project is I made the game Minesweeper in Visual Basic with full functionality. So the game, you guys probably all know what it is, the game Minesweeper. I think it's for Windows. I just made that in Visual Basic and it worked. It was fully functional in VB. So I was actually really proud of that, and the coolest thing was I had some friends who were the year below me who took Advanced Higher Computing, and the next year my project was my program was the demonstration for the next year. I don't know, the one that when I was doing it, they showed us a demonstration from like, 7 years ago or something when somebody did a really good job, and they changed it to my one. So I got the demonstration project from that point onwards. I do still remember those several times. My teacher, who I really liked, I liked that teacher a lot. He kept on like coming after. I'd stay after class to work on my program because I was like, it's not working yet. I need to perfect this. And he kept telling me, John, you don't need to do any more. This is already an A like plus. You've already got full marks on the program. You're good. Now all you need to do is write an essay explaining why the parts that don't work. That's all you need to do. And I was thinking to myself, well, that's all good, from a theoretical standpoint, but I want it to work. So I just wanted to keep doing it until everything worked, even though I was gaining absolutely nothing from it. And the reason I did it was just because I don't know, I enjoyed it. So that's kind of like how my school worked. I didn't really work on the right things to get the best grades possible. I just worked on things that I actually liked, even if it didn't. And this is kind of stupid. Even if I gained nothing from this. But eventually, after staying after class many times, after staying after school many times, I got it working, and it was satisfying. So I feel like programmers can probably relate. You just want to get it working. But that's the only programming I ever did in. I never actually did programming in university. However, my girlfriend, she actually had a couple of programming classes when she was in university. I graduated by that point, and she had never ever done programming at school. So she never did programming in high school. So when she had programming classes in university, had to start from nothing. But because I'd done programming in high school, I was like, wait, let me see this. Let me see what that is. It's Python. I've never looked at Python in school. Different programming language. So I kind of learned Python to a very low level, enough to help her do her project. And again, I don't ever need this. I don't need this in my life. I probably never will. But I was like, I want to try this. It looks interesting. I just wanted to learn Python to be able to help her do that project. So to be honest, I think she passed that project, but really, I passed that project. That was me. I did that. You know that meme where somebody comes on and says, I made this, and then the other guy's like, I made this. That was her. She's the one who took my code, and she's like, I made this. And she passed. So but yeah, that's just something I've always liked, programming. You just got to find what you like and then do that. And in my case, I'm telling you that I like programming in school, and then I literally never did it, but I wish I did that at university instead of what I actually did. I actually did structural engineering, which is sort of like if civil engineering and architecture had a baby. But I didn't really enjoy that anywhere near as much as I ever liked. I always preferred programming to that, by far. But it was, kind of the sunk cost fallacy. By the time I really knew that I didn't enjoy my course that I was doing, it was already too late. I was already coming to the end of second year. I was like, we've gone too far. We have to finish this. So we just went with that, finished that. How did you become an RLCS analyst commentator? There isn't really a career path to be a commentator, or really a lot of jobs in esports don't really have natural career paths to them. The only advice I can give you there, it's something you're passionate about, is do it as a hobby. Just start making videos, streams that have you casting games or analyzing games, and just enjoy doing it as a hobby. Because if you go into esports with the only goal being to work in esports full time, you're probably going to be disappointed because there's not many jobs in esports for as many people who want them. But if you just do it for fun, then you can't, it's a win-win. You're just doing it for fun. International content for me is the only thing that keeps you happy. Thank you. You're welcome. There's going to be plenty more of that in the next week. Not from me, mostly from RLCS. Oh, poor Renegades. What is this? I think Kami had it as well. That is really unfortunate. That is tough. Yummy worked at Google as a computer scientist. Yeah, I remember. I remember you told me about that. Yeah, there's you know, a lot of people, a lot of people in esports, a lot of people in Rocket League who have had pretty cool jobs. I've told my stream before, but my only job between, well, my only like full-time job that I had between graduating university and starting streaming as a hobby, and then just it ended up being my full-time thing after about 6 months of doing it. My only job that I had in between then for about 1.5 years was construction. I got super bored of studying and reading. I never wanted to see a piece of paper again in my life after university. So after that, I just worked construction with my dad. So I was like, this is different. Let's switch it up. I built your house. I probably didn't build your house, but I have built some houses. Not entirely by myself, but, you know. I know where those... I know... I've like pointed it out to people and be like, I built that house. I feel like that's what every builder, everyone who's ever built a house or helped build a house, that's what they tell people when they show them the house. I built that house. They never say I helped build that house. It's not as I don't know, not as much of a claim as, yeah, I built the house. That was me. So there you go. That's the story of how we managed to get through uni. Did I enjoy construction? Yeah, I did. I did enjoy construction. See, the thing about construction is it's very underappreciated and underpaid, as most, well, definitely a lot of blue-collar jobs are. Especially if you're working self-employed. My dad's self-employed and I worked with him, so, you know, when you're self-employed and you invoice someone for work that you've done, it's a really good pass. Aww. Shame Cammy hit the post there. That was a good pass. Lovely infield again. What is going on? But yeah, if you're self-employed and you invoice somebody for work you've done, there's, you know, very often what'll happen, I don't know if this is probably happening all over the world, but definitely in the UK, the person will just, who you've done work for, if you're not friends with them, one thing that often happens is they just find a random complaint about what you've done, the work that you've done. They just make something up. And they say because of that they're not going to pay the final portion of the invoice. They'll knock off like £500 or whatever. There's some like number that is not enough to make it worth your while taking them to court, because you'll actually spend more money on legal fees than you will be able to gain from them. So yeah, it's really annoying. People just like, they'll find a problem with what you've done even if it doesn't exist. They'll just invent something. They'll be like, yep, you have not done this according to what we wanted. And we're like, well, where does it say that you wanted that? Oh, we just told you. Oh, okay, so it's your word against ours. Great. So there's just like no... You either have to go, you know, really, really, really strict with your interactions while you're on the job, as in get written and signed everything as you go through. Or you run into things like that happening, but you never really want to get written. You don't want to get written approval for literally everything that you do. You want to have some flexibility on a job, because sometimes you're like, you show the person you're working for, oh, look, initially you said you wanted the path like this, but we just realized it's going to work better like this. Do you want to go it like this instead? They'll say, yeah, just do it like that. That looks good. And then you do it like that, and then they'll say at the end of the thing, at the end of the project, oh, yeah, this path isn't as wide as we originally specified, so we're going to knock 500 off the invoice. You're like, wow, these people they were being so nice. They were being so nice and friendly right up until the job's done, and they have to pay you, and now they're your worst enemy. So that's the downside of working, or one of the downsides of working that. It's a very underappreciated and underpaid job. Customer's always right. You know what they say. But apart from that, yeah, I mean, construction is really fun if things are working. It's really frustrating if things aren't working. Like if you're trying to do something to just advance a project and you do it and it just doesn't work, and then you do it again, it doesn't work, you do it again, still doesn't work. Like just trying to get something to fit, and you'd spend the entire day on it and you still haven't got it to fit at the end of the day. That's really frustrating when you're not making progress, because one of the satisfying things about construction and other blue-collar jobs is you can see the progress you're making. It's you know, quantifiable, it's physical. But if you're not making progress, you can also see that you're not making progress. So it works both ways. Yeah, it can be quite therapeutic. Some people probably hate it. Probably hate the idea of some of the jobs you have to do in construction. For example, one job that's really, really repetitive is if you're putting natural slates on a roof of a house or a building, the first thing that you want to do is sort every single slate from biggest to smallest. So if you've got like 2,000 slates to put on a roof, which isn't even actually that many, that's quite a medium-sized to small roof. If you've got 2,000 slates, you need to sort them biggest to smallest. They come in random order, and you need to sort them biggest to smallest, but not only that, you need to put them in piles. This pile is thicker at the bottom, this pile's thicker at the top, this pile is pretty much uniform all the way through. So we've got 3 or 4 different piles. This pile's warped to be slightly diagonal this way. This pile's warped. You got like 5 piles, and all those piles have to be sorted biggest to smallest. Then you can actually start putting the slates on the roof. So, you know, sorting the slates could take like a day or 2, depending on how many there are, how many people you've got doing it. Ooh, look at Fairy. And that is a very, very repetitive job. Some people would hate that, but you know, some other people don't really mind it because they can just get into the zone, start to be really efficient with it. You know, it becomes more of a therapeutic thing. You're like, you know, challenge yourself. How many can you do in an hour? That kind of thing. But yeah, some people would despise that. I didn't really mind it too much. I kind of I thought it was more like therapeutic than it was repetitive for me. Yeah, lots of jobs are like that. People who do like bricklaying and block work, that's all day for them. They make cement, they lay the bricks or the blocks, and they make more cement, and they lay more bricks or blocks, and they, you know, repeat, keep doing it, and how good they are at the job, usually you'll get paid for every single brick or block that you lay, so the more you do, the more you get paid. So they just try and get in the zone and do as many as possible without making any mistakes. Very, very repetitive, but some people love it because they could just get in the zone and be extremely, extremely good at it. Are we talking about cement and bricks? Why not? You know, like, I don't think that scrims are the kind of thing that should ever be casted, personally, and I've not been casting any of the scrims I've watched this week because I don't really put them in that category of Rocket League content. They're interesting to watch. You know, I'm always someone who will look at scrims as a view into what kind of mechanical form players are in, and a view into what, like, you know, kind of strategies teams are looking to work on. But you should never look at scrims as a serious, wow, this is a competitive event, we need to hype this up, this is so important who wins this. It's not really that important who wins. It's not important at all who wins, really. So we're doing this a bit different. You know, just having a chat with Twitch chat, watching the games in the background, because I don't know about you guys, I absolutely love watching scrim content, but I don't want to ever hear anybody casting scrims as if it was a show match or something more prestigious like a tournament. It just doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, if this was a show match, you know, if there's like some money on the line, or even if there's no money on the line, but it's just, you know, it is a match. Everybody goes in with the idea that this is a match, everybody play to win. Okay, now you should be, you know, treating that a bit more seriously and taking the result a bit more seriously. But scrims, not like that. They're a totally different category for me. Ooh. I feel like a lot of... Here's one thing I do want to talk about for gameplay-wise. I'm not sure if you guys agree in this, but when I watch 3v3 players, or, you know, not even 3v3 players, when I watch players in threes, pro play, in 1v1 positions, most of the time, they'll go for a fancy flick. Most of the time. And this is a scrim, so, you know, don't look at that one instance of it happening and not working as a bad thing. But I'm talking about, you know, pro play as well in tournaments. I feel like the majority, I'd love to see stats on this if somebody can go and track every single flick that's ever happened in the new season. But I feel like flicks, very often it will be some kind of elaborate flick that is very, very hard to read, very hard to execute. But if you watch one's mains in these exact same positions, they'll you know, the best ones players in the world, the best players in those positions in the world will more often than not go for a very standard either reverse 45-degree flick or just a normal, like, old-fashioned forward, like, diagonal flick. So it's weird to me that 3s mains, 2s mains try to go for the craziest mechanical flicks, and I feel like they don't work a lot, or they don't work enough to make that, in my opinion, the best option. Or a low 50-50. Yeah, or, well, we do see quite a lot of mind games in 3v3, but when a player's committed to a flick, it's usually some kind of elaborate, fancy flick. And I don't think it needs to be that way for flicks. Because flicks, if you just, like, launch a flick top corner, or in 3v3, you don't even need to hit top corner. Just absolutely slamming a flick into the crossbar can often be just as good as scoring, because you've got a teammate behind you who can come in and rebound. So I'm curious. I'm very curious to see what that looks like on LAN. Because during scrims, definitely everybody's practicing their very highly mechanical flicks. On LAN, it might not be like that. J Bacon Strips, thanks to the brand new Prime, and also ToEM with the 23-month Tier 1. Welcome back. You helped a friend pass an assignment. It's fun. Yeah, it is fun to help, you know, friends, significant others, you know, other people, like, you know, acquaintances, anyone. Even, like, just random people in class who ask you a question sometimes. It's fun to help people, I find. That's awesome. Bubblegun40, thanks to the 51-month Prime. That is getting silly, but I appreciate that, man. How you doing? Glithamar, thanks to the 10-month Prime. And Max U, thanks to the 2-month Tier 1. OCE top 8 Shirley. Max U, that's APAC South champion from this split. Rooting for OCE at this event. You're not rooting for Tokyo Verde? You're not? You don't believe in TVE? Max U? You don't think that they've got what it takes? And SF Pencil, thanks to the 4-month Prime as well. I appreciate that. I think I said thanks to Savage Sonny already, but if I didn't, then sorry for missing that one out earlier. Are there other matches after this one? Okay, so that's the other topic here for today. Well, you know, topic 1, will Renegades be able to get a win here? Because they have been struggling against Vitality. Vitality giving them a lovely gift there of a double commit for no reason. But secondly, I don't know what scrims are happening in the hour block after this one. Apart from, I think Renegades are scrimming Williams Resolve. But I don't know what the other teams are getting up to. I'm not sure if Dignitas or Grind Zero have scrims. I think Grind Zero are scrimming Furia, not in the scrim block after this one, but the one after that. BDS and Endpoint are scrimming right now. Do you guys know if Dignitas or BDS have a scrim after this one? Dig versus G2 is happening right now. I think G2 are playing Furia right now. Well, let me see what Max is saying. You root for them, OCE has better chance in comparison? Yeah, I would agree. OCE scrims Asia, so they're all kind of the same. Yeah, the two communities are pretty close. Era is already in Sweden? I'm not sure, actually. Is the G2 scrim being streamed? I don't think so. I don't think any G2 scrims are going to be streamed today, but I, you know, might be wrong. So don't take my word for that. Pretty sure that all the teams are coming tomorrow, or going tomorrow to Sweden. I'm going to Sweden tomorrow myself. Got my negative PCR test yesterday, so that is valid for long enough that I can get to Sweden. That was actually going in. that was in fact going to bounce in. Vitality looking pretty comfortable versus Renegades today. You know, from what I'm seeing, Kid Up and Fairy Peak have definitely, you know, got their mechanics on show here. The occasional double commit for no reason is still happening for Vitality, but I think that they'll probably not be having that many of those on LAN in offense. The reason being, and you can ask you know, anyone who's scrimmed Vitality in the past. Yomi Cheeseman, I think, actually said this yesterday as well. You know, when Vitality are scrimming, they play a lot more aggressively than they do on LAN. They actually, like, maybe they try and condition their teams in other teams in scrims to predict, you know, expect them to be challenging more often, and then they just crowd the net. I'm not a fan these days. I don't think that it's a good idea to just crowd the net and defend. against the level of solo plays that you run into these days, but Vitality have always, you know, got a chance of making that work. Everybody agrees that Vitality have got a shot of going deep in this tournament. I don't think anybody would argue that. The only thing you're confident of is OCE is out in Swiss. I mean, I predicted OCE to not make it past Swiss, but it's going to be really cool to see them because they've always done better in LAN than they have in scrims, from what I can remember. You know, OCE in the distant past have had some pretty good LAN results. You know, they finished 4th place in Season 6, top 6 in Season 5. They've had some results that have exceeded EU and NA teams at those tournaments. It's only the most recent event, Season 7 and 8, where OCE did not get a win versus an OCE versus an EU or NA team. But even Season 8, OCE were able to beat Sam in the one matchup that they played. The only match that OCE has ever played against Sam, they did win it. Oh, very big mechanics. Everybody was scared of them at World. Everybody was scared of OCE teams at Worlds, really. I just remember for Season 3, the pre-event scrims. I don't know much about OCE scrims at the event, but I know, because I was working with Flipside Tactics at the time, that Flipside scrimmed against Chiefs when they got there to America. Won like every game 5-0, and we thought, yeah, they're not quite there yet, but they might be able to beat one of the lower, well, probably Denial, because Denial were kind of a surprise qualifying team from North America. You know, players who did end up having pretty successful threes careers, Corrupted G, Lethamir, and was it Classics? I can't remember who the third was. I think it was Classics. But you know, I saw both those teams play pre-event, Chiefs and, or was it Alpha Sydney at the time? I think it was one of the Chiefs or Alpha Sydney. It was Drippe, Torsos, Jacob, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, it was Sad Junior Classic. Oh no, Sad Junior, Corrupted G, Lethamir, right? And they were Alpha Sydney at the time, apparently. Yeah, I predicted Alpha Sydney to win that one, and they did, but it was close. I didn't think that Alpha Sydney would have an 8 shot against you know, the top NA teams at that event, or any of the EU teams, because EU was pretty stacked in Season 3. There was like, I reckon 6 teams in EU. Like, there was teams in EU who didn't make the LAN who were actually really good. Teams like Resonant, that ended up being Method in Season 4, who made Grand Final. They didn't make Season 3. They had a playoff match against Flipside, so pretty tough. Oh, is that right, Snasky? Were the Alpha Sydney boys doing well in scrims at the event? Flipside didn't really scrim them at the event, because yeah, F3 clapped them pre-event, and we thought, okay, that's maybe not the most valuable scrim partner, but these days it's a lot closer. At least in a scrim context, there's not, you know, really not that many blowouts. That being said, I think Renegades did get annihilated by Dignitas the other day. Yummy was saying that they lost 7 games in a row in every game, or 8 games in a row, and every game was like 4 or 5-1. You're very impressed. That's cool to hear. Yeah, that team was able to get a win on an NA team. So Season 3, OCE got a win against NA. Season 4, OCE got another win against NA, and it was a big win this time. It was they beat NRG to knock them out of the tournament. Season 5, they got a win against Evil Geniuses. And Season 6, they got a win against, I think, Evil Geniuses again. Oh no, Season 5, they beat Envy. They beat an EU team, I think. Pretty sure that OCE beat their very first EU team at Season 5. And then they beat another NA team at Season 6. Look at that from Fever. Little wave dash. Landing off the reset. Oh yeah, they beat EG as well. And yeah, in Season 6 they beat NRG again. And they beat EG. So there's, you know, quite a lot of times where OCE's beaten NA in the distant past, but they never beat them at Season 7 or 8. The two most recent LANs. But, you know, DreamHack, there's been a few results that have gone in OCE's favor against EU and NA. Was Envy EU? Yeah, the original Envy team was Devo, Remco, and who was their third? It was Devo, Remco, and someone. Forgotten who the third player was. Was it Maestro? It wasn't Maestro at Season 5. It wasn't Greasy at Season 5 either, was it? But was it Greasy? Was it Ignite already at Season 5? It might have been Ignite. I think Greasy was a substitute, because they played with Greasy in a DreamHack, and they lost to... They went out really early in the tournament, so they actually just benched Greasy because it wasn't working. There we go. Renegades put him on the board. That's what we like to see. You got third both those tournaments. Lost to Gale Force in semis. Yeah, you guys lost to Gale Force in Atlanta and in X Games, if I'm not mistaken, Greasy. But then after that, it went more downhill. That was Season 4 kind of time, wasn't it? When you guys were doing well in DreamHack and X Games, I think that was around about season, or in the run-up to Season 4. It was between 3 and 4. But then between 4 and 5... things started going really badly for Envy. But how you doing, Greasy? Been a while. After that, you sucked. Okay. Do I think DreamHacks could ever be back with this format? Well, the way that I see RLCS going, and I'm not involved in this process, so don't take my word for anything, but you know, right now there are regional events online. Now if I was a tournament organizer, well actually I am, but if I was a big tournament organizer not just a meme tournament organizer, and I came to Psyonix and I said, hey Psyonix, I want to run a Rocket League event, do you have any unorganized regionals that you want my event to just become? Then maybe Psyonix would be like, yeah, that seems like a good idea. Wait, why is CJ scoring here? What happened? So that's just the way that I see it. looks like Kid Up had a little bit of faith in his team to actually hit that one. Oh no. But yeah, I could see it personally. I wouldn't be surprised if regional events became LANs in the in the future. Hopefully not the too distant future. I could see that. We have to wait and see. Oh, look at the pre-jump. Oh! CJ loves his pre-jumps, and they're actually pretty good with them. I've got to hand it to them. I've been watching the OCE pre-jumps all week, and they've got a pretty high hit rate with the pre-jumps, you know? Would that not make LANs less special? I mean, in a way, I suppose. But, you know, this LAN is going to be special because it's the first one in 2 years. But do you guys really want to wait 2 years for the next LAN just to make that LAN more special? I don't. I would rather more regularity with LANs. Fever's really just got to make sure that he hits the ball there. He can't be going for a blocking touch. He just has to ball chase, or else he's giving his goalkeeper no chance. Who won yesterday? Envy versus Dig? I don't know. I didn't even know they scrimmed. Look at that. An open net by Renegades. Never thought I'd see the day. Yummy Cheeseman's probably currently flying. When he lands and I tell him that Renegades scored an open net in a scrim, he's not going to believe me. He's just not going to believe it. Oh. Oh! Look at Kid Up. Absolute brick wall. Chat, do you know who Dignitas are screaming at? I'll try that again. Do you guys know who Dignitas are scrimming in 10 minutes, or if they are scrimming in 10 minutes from now? Anyone got any idea? We've got a lot of people in chat this week who have just been spying on the team discords to see what the scrim results are and who they're playing. Please be G2. If it's G2, I don't think that'll be streamed. I'm pretty sure nobody's streaming G2 today. Sauce17, thanks to the 32-month Prime. Welcome back to the channel. Jamdox as well for the 17-month Prime. Welcome back. Do you think OCE will ever host an international LAN, or does the time zone make that impossible? I really hope that we get an international LAN in OCE in Sydney. I would love that. I think that the region definitely deserves to have an international LAN. After being in the scene for so long and providing the scene with so much entertainment, so many cool storylines, personalities. You know, the OCE fans, I think, could be the closest in reproducing the London Season 5 crowd outside of the UK. Obviously, anywhere in the UK, you're probably going to get that atmosphere, but the only other place in the world that I can think of that you'd get that atmosphere, the London Season 5, the absolute best crowd that ever existed, would be Australia, I think. So it would be a big win. Hey, what's up, JG7? E-Biggs, thanks for 49-month Tier 1. I appreciate that. Hey, Renegade's on a little bit of a streaky streak here. You know, the OCE teams, and I'm expecting to see the same thing from teams like G2, throughout the week, improving, because nice save by CJ. We talked about jet lag in the context of G2. They had to go pretty far. They looked pretty rough on day one of scrims because of that. But the same thing for OCE, and OCE, the boys, they've traveled 10 hours of time zones and huge flights, I think 30-hour flights in total for some of them. So, yeah, that takes a long time to recover from, probably more than a week of adjustment before you're back at 100% mentally. They're definitely looking a lot sharper later on in the week. By the way, some people are asking why won't G2 scrims be streamed today. I just say I think that they won't be, because I heard that they're not going to be streaming scrims. But that's probably going to happen with most teams, if not all teams. This week, teams have been very content focused and just putting their scrims out there for everybody to watch, which is awesome. But I wouldn't be surprised if next week, when we get closer to the event and teams are in their official practice rooms at the facility, the LAN facility, I wouldn't be surprised if some of them stop screaming scrims. Why do I keep saying screaming? It's in my head now. I can't stop saying it. If teams might stop streaming scrims next week, don't complain. The fact is, it's great that we've had them this week, but that shouldn't be expected. Nobody should be expected to scream streams. The fact that both those words are actually words is what makes it so hard not to say them. But Alpha just has absolutely no chill. And unfortunately, I have to skip that. I'd love to watch that replay, but everybody skipped it, so I'm going to skip it as well. Strimming is when you cut grass with a strimmer. The big, like, whirring plastic blade thing on the end of the handles. It's called a strimming machine, or I think maybe you don't have them in your countries. What is it called? Where you see people like cutting long grass. It's a strimmer. Grass, maybe you guys call it a trimmer. We call it a strimmer in the UK. Maybe it's a UK thing. A lawnmower? No, not a lawnmower. It's totally a different thing. A lawnmower you can either push or sit on. A strimmer, you actually carry it because it's for cutting long grass that's too long to drive or push a lawnmower through. It's a strimmer. I'm not trolling. Everybody thinks I'm trolling, but I'm not trolling right now. It's like for cutting long grass, where a lawnmower would get stuck. So yeah, strimming is a word. You got a weed whacker. Interesting. Yeah, you guys are saying that strimmer sounds dumb. People are like, wow, this must be some kind of UK nonsense. Then you come out with weed whacker. Okay. Got it. We're the ones with the dumb word. Right. You should call it a modern scythe, a modern day scythe, yeah. Weed whacker sounds sick. Weed whacker sounds like it means something totally different. It just sounds like a slang term for, I don't know, somebody who's addicted to weed, or I don't know, some kind of weed preparation device or procedure. Yeah, it sounds like a super grinder. It's like a mechanical grinder. That's if somebody told me that's what it was, I would be like, oh, okay. I got it. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard anything about Scrims for the next tower, apart from the only one I know about is Renegade's Williams Resolved. So we could ask Renegades if we can follow them around if you guys want. I've tried to get variety this week, but I don't know who's streaming. I'm saying it again. I don't know who's scrimming after this. Why is RNG scrimming Williams Resolve? Because Williams Resolve are a really good team. That's a good shot by Big Cammy. You know, speaking of UK... I just kicked my table. Speaking of UK phrases, what save? What's the international equivalent of a bus driver, or, you know, the guy at the chippy, you know, or the guy at your local takeaway calling you big man or boss? Because there's two ways to address people in the, you know, a bus driver when people are coming on. You'll either call them big man if they're, you know, above average height and stature, or boss if they're not. If they're small, you don't say small man or wee man in Scotland, because that would be rude. That's more of a negative thing. To call somebody a wee man is like, you know, usually you'd say that to make fun of someone. But you'd say boss. So yeah, if you're in good standing with your Turkish barber, they'll definitely call you boss or big man. And bus driver, same thing. Boss man. Yeah, I've heard boss man is that's England, right? Scotland is boss or big man. Usually big man though. But yeah, if you get your boss or big man license revoked because you're, you know, not in good standing with your local bus driver, barber, or takeaway owner, feels bad. Chief. Yeah, chief. Is this only a UK thing, or do they have this anywhere else in the world? Boss man and chief sound English. Buses definitely exist. I'm not saying buses don't exist. I'm saying, does your bus driver call everyone like a certain name when they come in? Is there like a nickname? Like the bus, I was on a bus yesterday and I got on and I said, could I get a return to Glasgow Airport? And he said, of course, big man. And I was like, there it is. My big man license has now been revoked. It feels good. Just like, they'll do that every time. But it for some reason, you're just like, everybody loves the bus driver because he's so nice to everybody when they come on the bus. Big man is top tier. Yeah, big man is phenomenal. It's got to be the best one. Right. GG's. Thanks to Renegades and Vitality for letting us sit in on those scrims. Actually finished off 5-3. Renegades took another game there. Big man sounds so disrespectful. It's really not disrespectful. How does it sound disrespectful? I guess you're thinking big as in wide, fat. But no, it just means tall. Big boss. Alright, big boss. That sounds like something. Have you guys seen The People Just Do Nothing? Have anyone, type 1 in chat if you've seen the Netflix series The People Just Do Nothing. That sounds like a Chabuddy G line. Alright, big man boss. Alright, big boss man. Yeah, he just combines two different types of UK lingo into one. Just messes it up completely.